Pastor Tami with hungryheartsforgod.com. Welcome to the introduction to Can You Hear Me Now? 7 Ways to Recognize the Voice of God. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my story and some truths that have transformed my life. Born to a powerful prayer evangelist and a powerful prayer warrior, I was raised in the presence of God. I felt like a princess growing up in a palace. The throne room was just another place for me to run and play or curl up for a nap. As a toddler and adolescent, I knew how to pray powerful prayers. By the time I was 12, I had a very deep and special relationship with God. At the age of 14, a mantle of anointing fell on me and I began to minister powerfully through song. However, when I stepped down from the platform, I would step back into the body of a hurting, angry, bitter, and depressed child of the King. As a young adult, I began to feel like an imposter on a pedestal and imagined my epitaph would be, "She died helping others, but herself she could not save." I told God one day that I felt like He was this big, huge vending machine up in the sky with no price tags. And I was a hungry heart, gazing longingly through the glass at delicious-looking packages of peace, joy, hope, comfort, healing, and strength. Because there was no price tags, I had to just keep putting in my quarters and pushing the buttons, fasting and praying, pushing the buttons, sacrificially giving of my time, talent, and treasure, shaking the machine, hoping against hope that He would have mercy on me and let something drop down the hatch, anything to heal my pain and soothe my aching, hungry heart. Every once in a while I had a good day, but I didn't know how or why it came to be. Had I finally fasted enough or prayed enough or proved I was desperate enough? As a pastor, my daily prayer was, "Lord, I know in your Spirit is everything I can possibly need for this journey. Why can't I access it?" I begged Him to tell me the secret to His vending machine. And then I met Dave and Linda Olson, who taught me what they called listening prayer. I learned to ask God questions and then listen for His response. Novel idea, right? For some strange reason, I thought God spoke when He wanted to speak, and if He wanted to speak, He would just insert Himself into my life. It never occurred to me to ask a question and then just listen for His response. So one of the first questions I asked Him was, "Lord, what is the secret to your vending machine?" He said, "Tami, the difference between your good days and your bad days is whether or not you hear the counsel of my Spirit. Daily I speak peace into your life, but you rarely ever hear me. Lord, why don't I hear you?" "You're making too much noise, kicking and screaming and throwing a fit on the throne room floor." "You mean all the time I've been travailing for answers, you've been talking to me?" "Tami, every time you enter into my presence, I scoot over on the throne, pat the empty space beside me and say, 'Come, sit with me. Let me speak peace into your storm, truth into your tormented mind, and healing into your hurting soul. I have the answers, the ideas, the wisdom, the inspiration you need right now, today, in this very moment. Shh, be still and know me.'" As I learned how to be still and know Him, the contents of the vending machine became accessible 24/7. I discovered His spoken word to be like a river of Rhema flowing from the throne, encompassing and inhabiting the earth, surrounding me, above me, beneath me, beside me, in me, through me, healing me, and transforming my life. Recently, during my quiet time, God said to me, I know the thoughts and plans I have for my people, plans that give them a future and a hope, but they don't know them because they don't hear and recognize my voice. I could feel the grief in his heart when he said this. Understanding that God had created man for fellowship, I imagine him spending his days leaning over the balcony of heaven saying, "Can you hear me now?" And then moving to another position and saying, "Can you hear me now?" He went on to say that morning, without a dream or a vision, people perish. Tami, my people, the people called by my name, are being destroyed because they don't know me. They know the Bible, they know their doctrine, they know the tenets of their faith, but they don't know me. Will you teach them how to know me as I taught you? This has become my purpose and mission, my life assignment. By sharing 7 ways to recognize the voice of God, it is my hope that you will tune into his frequency and establish a direct connection, allowing him to reveal himself to you as he shares the incredible thoughts and plans he has for you. Plans that give you a future and a hope. To know God is to discover who we are, why we're here, igniting a passion to live life on purpose, fulfilling his thoughts and plans for our life, the dream he engineered into our DNA while we were yet in the womb. Woohoo! This excites me every time I say it. So, to get started, let me introduce you to your thoughts. The average person has 60,000 thoughts a day. The majority of these thoughts are subconscious thoughts, meaning we do not consciously think them. They are thoughts that happen to us. We are constantly being coached by the counsel of the flesh, the counsel of the enemy, and the counsel of the spirit. The counsel of the flesh and the enemy are both loud and obnoxious, barging in unannounced and offering unsolicited advice, drowning out that still small voice, standing at the door and knocking, waiting to be invited into our conscious thought world. All of this counsel takes place as just another thought. There are 7 ways to distinguish between the counselors: their character, their motive, their goal, their motivating force, their favorite words and phrases, inspired feelings, and the power behind their counsel. By becoming aware and learning to recognize and distinguish the difference between these 3 counselors, we empower ourselves to choose whether or not to buy into and believe the counsel we just received. So tune into Can You Hear Me Now? Part 1 to learn more about the character of our 3 counselors. This is Pastor Tami, pursuing his presence and purpose by inspiring hungry hearts around the world to know God by learning to distinguish his voice from the counsel of the flesh and the counsel of the enemy. God bless.